It's a furniture store in downtown Roseville. Futurama.
And to this, and that drafted me when I was in library on a continuous loop is all the Nixon stuff I did on Futurama.
That's what we call VO payback.
You're already sick.
Thank you.
In the head.
There's children in the audience.
You might.
Not anymore.
Now, coverage like no other. Bringing you videos from the event floor. You're watching convention coverage.
So, excellent. How's the show been treating everybody?
Excellent.
Excellent? Having a good time?
Yes.
Meeting?
The nicest crowd of people, the nicest type of people you will meet at these expos. I mean, if it was an S&M convention, you might
There's
meet
children in the audience.
You might.
Not anymore.
You might meet a different type of crowd, but no, this is beautiful. Boy, I got love bombed yesterday.
Yeah.
It was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
Yes.
And I had cake.
Birthday.
They gave me a piece of cake. Hooray! I'm satiated.
Actually, this is a cake.
That's a cake. That's some cake. Yeah, it was really, really great. I'm beaming. If I was home, I would have been falling asleep in my rocking chair.
No, he's the busiest voiceover actor in the business. He's just nonstop, this guy.
We have such good company. You know, like Futurama is one thing, but these guys have done so many other shows. But when we get together, it is so great. Remember the first day we went back to record? It was joyous.
It was so.
And Phil was on Zoom.
See, he has this in studio, the whole studio set up in his house. It's super fancy. It's a whole room.
But also it's because we're recording in person, but we're still separate.
Right.
So they can only fit so many people in the studio.
So he never comes in person anymore.
Because I don't know where she been.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. At least I talked you out of the shield, too. Like, the mask is enough. I mean, the shield, no.
We don't want to get sick.
You're already sick.
Thank you.
In the head.
Thank you.
This is what it's like working with these guys. It's hard to, like, finish the record because they're always just so funny.
To me, that's my best Futurama story, is when John wouldn't stop laughing in the first season, John DiMaggio.
And they had to buy him a pillow?
Yeah, they had to send him to the corner because he was being disruptive. And it wasn't like a bad thing. We were having fun, but, you got to take care of some business now and then. And they sent him to the corner, and there was a couch. And they had these big, thick pillows, and they had to bury him like a sandwich in these two big pillows. He looked like a waffle or a Belgian waffle or something. And he's underneath it all going, we could still hear him. Come on, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but we're all happy to be back together, for God's sakes. Oh, it's so nice.
For Oprah's sakes.
For Oprah.
So, Billy just kind of answered the question. I was going to ask, what is your all-time favorite moment of all of the show? So I guess it could be like from an episode or something. That was
my
favorite moment.
No, you go first.
Favorite moment of my entire career?
No, Futurama, right?
Futurama.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, see, it's tough because, I was saying this to someone at the table, you evaluate these experiences on so many levels. There's the work that you as an individual get to do. It's like, oh, I really felt like I was challenging myself and I made it, Then there's the people you get to work with, which make the day so pleasurable. Then there's the quality of the material, And with Futurama, the quality level is so high across the board, even when we come back from the dead over and over again.
Right.
Yeah, actually, maybe that would probably have been the most significant Futurama moment was, when we came back.
Okay.
Because
That's
that
a
was
good
at a
point.
time, like nowadays, reboots and stuff happen constantly. Back then, they didn't.
No.
Like the idea of, like in the old days, when a show got canceled, they erased the tapes.
Yeah.
It was gone.
Done.
There was no, it wasn't upstreaming. I mean, the only thing in reruns was Gilligan's Island. But your cartoon was dead to the world. But then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, the Fox people, the Futurama DVDs were selling so well that Fox Studio realized, oh damn, we left money on the table. Hey, you guys, get back over here. Do those voices again. I'm like, really? We're back!
Yeah, I think I have to agree with Phil. I mean, it was so exhilarating that we came back yet again, and just the gratitude that we all felt after this long pandemic that's been so hard on all of us, trying so hard to find little pockets of joy where we could, and just, you know, for Phil and I, we have 2 college tuitions to pay. I mean, it just can be so daunting, you know? And so it just nothing but gratitude and just to be able to see everybody again and just a family reunion. And yeah, I think that, and maybe just that time that Pamela Anderson came and nobody could form a sentence anymore. All of these Harvard graduates, it was like pretty amazing to see.
They're such smart to see them blushing like little schoolboys.
Yes. And they all came. They normally don't show up to our records, but I mean, yeah, so that was pretty fun.
Can you say Sweet Zombie Show?
Sweet Zombie Show of Sacramento!
It is a zombie show.
Yep.
It keeps coming back from the dead.
I'm back, baby!
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is what, going back to the first day of Futurama, what was that experience like for you on the first, when you first started, doing these roles for Futurama that will end up becoming such an iconic show?
Well, I mean, obviously you don't know that it's going to be
Right.
iconic in general.
Yeah.
But you sort of have a hint when you're sitting in a room with Matt Groening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Who, by the way, is the sweetest man on the planet.
Sure. And the most fertile mind, imagination I've ever encountered. You know, he's created all those characters on The Simpsons. If you look at a poster of all the characters that got created, oh my God, it's probably way more than anybody else. And then there's Futurama's world, and now there's Disenchantment's world,
Right.
with all these other characters. And you know the whole bit with the elves' names. They're like Shaco and Levo and Returno. Each one is their name
Elfo.
is their name is what they are.
Right.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
Shaco, you know.
He's constant, right?
I just asked David X. Cohen on this past Friday how he and Matt Groening always know how to make everything like 75% funnier, just in their direction. You know, because you guys are, I think, comic geniuses, but I don't always know where to exactly find the funny in a line. And so they'll tell me like which word to emphasize. And I'm like, is that something, you know, that you just like innately know how to do?
Yes,
Or
I'll take direction from David any day of the
I'm
week.
telling you. And he said that sometimes what he does is like in the room when they're pitching, you know, he'll actually notate, he'll like circle the word of the emphasis that got the laugh in the room. And then also just the experience of doing this for so many years, for 20 years. But it's really such a specific talent to take material, you know, and just lift it up even more by just the tiniest of tweaks. You know,
Yes.
like either like do it deadpan completely or do it really, really enthusiastically, like things that I wouldn't necessarily think of.
They have us try a lot of approaches, you know,
Yeah.
not every single time, but in certain instances they'll say, why don't you shout that out? Or why don't you, okay, you know what, maybe that's not working, let's like throw it away a
Yeah.
little. You know, it's just, I live for their direction.
Yeah.
Because I'm like a rudderless boat. I wouldn't know, you
No,
know. I wouldn't know which way to go, and they tell you, you know, it's like he's, you know, more embarrassed or Yeah, you need
Yeah,
that. I
it's-
need
It's
it.
awesome.
Well, it's funny, they talk about comic geniuses. David Cohen is sort of a genius of comedy.
Yes.
He's somebody who's got such incredible intelligence.
Yes.
And is able to apply it to comedy.
You think you're funny until you meet him.
I knew of David before Futurama.
You're
How?
kidding?
Oh,
How?
wait a minute. Harvard?
No, I went to Yale.
Oh,
But his
Sorry?
little sister.
I didn't know you were a Yale.
His
man.
little sister went to Yale, and she was one of my freshman counselees. And I remember one day she came in with a copy of the Harvard Lampoon. It's like, my brother's the editor-in-chief of the Harvard Lampoon. Oh, let me see. David Cohen. Huh, interesting.
Wow, and you tucked that back here.
And then, 10 years later, I'm like,
Wow.
now I'm working for him.
Wow.
Yes.
Harvard wins again. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, thank you all. so
Thank you for
much.
your question.
Thank you.
You.
With all the characters in Futurama, what do you think their class and race would be in Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, first you'll have to teach us how to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I don't know that game very well. I'm not sure how to answer. Billy?
I only know how to play like Monopoly and
I have to phone. Can I phone a friend?
Perquacky and Husker Du.
Well, let's see. I think, only Roberto would be chaotic evil.
Yeah.
What would Fry be? Chaotic good, yes.
He would probably be a paladin.
No. Fry's not a paladin. Fry's like a rogue. And what about Bender? Lawful evil?
Lawful evil, probably.
Oh no, he's not lawful.
Chaotic evil.
There's a lot of kinds of evil, isn't there? It's like the Baskin Robbins of evil.
That's funny. That's. Although I'm sure somewhere there's an episode that's in the works on that. They've been 70s superheroes, so why can't they be D&D characters?
Well, we came close with the
Yeah.
duodecahexa. What's it?
Right. Yes. Futurama crosses its fandom streams quite a bit because our writers are nerdy geniuses.
Well, in the very beginning, Gary Gygax,
Right. Yep.
creator of D&D, came and because he wanted to hang around, and they let him be Gary Gygax, and
He
Matt
voiced
drew him.
himself.
So cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, welcome to Futurama 4th edition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your favorite like behind the scenes story that you've never got an excuse to tell?
We've been doing this show for how many years now? 24?
Maybe. On and on.
Any story we haven't told is legally probably not allowed to be told.
I mean, I won't tell if you don't. But...
Yeah, you won't tell.
I love that she apparently has never heard of the internet.
It's on YouTube tomorrow. Yeah.
Or in Russia, the internet.
Oh, wait! I actually have one.
Okay, yay. Go.
The first table read
Yeah.
of Futurama.
Yeah.
Actually, this story I think has been told, but for some reason it is not widely known.
Okay.
In the first table read of Futurama, he was not Fry,
Right.
Oh, that's true.
Charlie.
and Katie Seagal was not Leela.
Yes.
That's
this is
right.
true.
It was
Raise your hand if you've heard this story.
Charlie Schlatter.
Charlie
and
Schlatter was the
Nicole
voice of Fry.
Sullivan was Leela. They were from Mad TV.
Well,
Not Charlie.
no, Nicole was, but Charlie was.
Yeah. Charlie was from Prescription Murder or one of those.
Tons of stuff. And he was the movie where he played the young George Burns.
Oh God or something? No.
One of those. I can't remember.
Billy, were you already doing other characters?
Yeah, you were doing.
I got hired to do Zoidberg and the Professor, but I did audition for Fry, and somehow I had the foresight to not do so much of a character, because those are imitatable. You know, the more you pour it on,
Yeah.
the more imitatable
True.
it becomes. But me at 25 years old, I had this plain vanilla whiny, nasally, complainy, and I still talk like that when I'm not thinking straight. And I would be in a band, and oh man, I broke a string. Now what am I gonna do? And so I thought, if I do my own voice, like when I was 25, that's really hard for an impressionist to grab onto, because there's nothing to A-B it to. There's nothing, It's almost like a non-voice, but it was perfect for Philip J. Fry, and so yeah.
So tell the rest of the story.
Yes.
No, that's mostly it.
No,
Although
no.
my interpretation of the rest of the story is, in the beginning, Futurama was Matt Groening's, new show. The Simpsons was established, and in fact, The Simpsons had basically launched Fox Network. So the executives at Fox at that time were not the people who launched Fox Network. So Matt Groening was way more important than them.
Yep.
They could not give him notes on The Simpsons,
That's right.
but they could on Futurama.
Yeah.
Futurama was his redheaded stepchild. Oh, let's kick it. Let's kick that one. Yeah, we have some notes, Matt. We don't like the Fry guy that you've got there. Let's recast.
And then the part of the story I remember, which is so cringeworthy for actors, is that Charlie called Nicole and said, "My agent just called me and they have fired me." And then Nicole goes, "Hang on 1 second, I'm getting a call."
They're both of them are beautiful, super, super talented people.
Awesome, yeah.
It's just sometimes it is the luck of the draw,
I mean, anyone who's worth their salt has been fired at some point, like I have, and
Oh, yeah.
you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes it's not the right fit or whatever,
Or some executives feel like they need to pee on your show.
or the star of the show hates you so much because you're like 5 sizes smaller than her.
Oh boy. Now,
If I had a nickel for every time that happened to me.
what show would that be?
Oh God, I shouldn't tell me.
You know, I had
See what you've done.
I had a story when we went to see the pilot. We went to the Griffith Observatory
Right.
Oh, yeah.
to watch the pilot. And they
On the ceiling.
projected it overhead. You know,
That was
like the galaxy is usually up there, and they projected it, and it was like,
It was
oh my
magical.
God, look at this! It's just unbelievable. And I'm sitting next to this big Aussie, and nobody knows who he is, but he was like one of Rupert Murdoch's guys. He was there to make sure we were on our best behavior, or whatever it is they do. And I was so excited, and I was rocking like a mental patient. and I lean over after it's over. I go, "What did you think?" And he goes, "I don't give a shit. I'm a numbers guy." That's what he said to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but what do you do? What? There's no numbers here. What do
None
you
of these people are paying. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's business for you.
Yeah. Can't even recognize magic.
Thank you for asking us to show you the sick underbelly of show business.
I forgot about that story.
So my question is, you kind of already answered it with how Fry is, just your own voice and your own character.
Sort of, yeah.
But how do you guys get into your characters? Any special way that you prepare or anything along those lines?
You saw Phil. He was shot out of a cannon. Like when he was sort of called upon to do. I called upon you to do the character. It was like shot out of a cannon. It's not like you have to sit around and go me. Good news, everyone.
Let me stretch.
Yeah, let me stretch. I gotta
Red leather, yellow leather.
Wait. I gotta hydrate the instrument. Wait. Center. Commit. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, there are some shows, some characters where, I need what I call a pitch pipeline. I don't know if any of you were in a cappella singing groups, but there was the one person who goes, plays the note that you're going to start singing with. And sometimes I find that there's a line that if I say it out loud, it reminds me, oh, this is where this character, You know, when
The
I was doing
cadence.
Osmosis Jones, it's a Chris Rock sound alike.
Yeah.
So there was a line I took from his stand-up act. You know,
I'm not saying he should have done it. I'm saying I understand.
Wow. Wow.
And now I'm gonna say the same thing about Will Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, a slap-alike. Wait a minute, I had a joke, but don't tell any kid. Guy goes into a bar, the bartender said, "Hey, can I make you one of our specialty drinks?" Guy says, "Yeah, sure, what do you got?" "Well, I can make you a head." "You have a drink named after Will Smith?"
Oh, that's harsh.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, come on, he had it coming. I never even did that to anybody. And
even when you were drinking?
I've done some bad things.
I think that, like for me, it's Amy is sort of like my own voice, just a little bit younger and a little bit ditzier, because I'm sort of ditzy naturally, but she's just, you know, in her early 20s, so just thinking that ahead of time, that's all. And then they actually played our references for us. I think the first time we came back.
Oh, really?
I think so, just to make sure that we were all on the same, you know, page, just to refresh our memories. And I remember, and I did this other show, King of the Hill, and we, Greg Daniels, from the first year to like the 11th year, he felt like our voices started changing without us realizing it, so he played all of our voices for us on the very first episode, and it was freaking jaw-dropping.
Try that with Futurama.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bender is different. Professor is not, he's like, "Oh, hello," you know.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, Fry sounded like Fry. Zoidberg sounded like Zoidberg, but the professor sounded totally
More
different.
pinched, or?
You know what it is you become what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
It's a work in
You relax
progress.
into it, kind of like.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Now it is what it always should have been, but it sometimes takes you, you know, some workouts to get it.
Right. Well, I mean, that happens with on-camera roles as well. Anything you're doing, it evolves. The writing evolves and the performance evolves. I mean, sometimes the evolutions are a little more jagged, like the early Homer Simpson.
Oh, yeah, just muttering.
I mean, he just changed his character. Hey, yeah, he's doing that Walter Matthau voice.
Oh, he just changed the character? Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know,
Yeah.
with our characters, I mean, one, we've been doing them so long, they're sort of embedded in us.
Yeah.
So they come flying right out. We couldn't wait to get back into the seats, the
Yeah.
same seats, the same studio.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you think the show would have had the cultural impact it had if it hadn't been canceled? Kind of how, like, Firefly became iconic because it was canceled.
Definitely gave us a good running joke. But
I think psychologically, in people's mind, it's like, I liked that show. I liked it, and it was an underdog when I liked it. And now they got rid of it. And there's this, like, you know, I wish I could talk to 1,000 other people and write Fox a letter, or, you know what I mean? I think there's this, like, aggravation involved. Like, they took something away that I liked. You know, it spoke to me. It was like a letter from home. So,
and I'm just guessing here, but I thought it was a wonderful way for us to acknowledge the fandom, the fierce, rabid fandom
Yes.
that actually was responsible for bringing the show back.
that would be you, guys.
So that was just amazing to us, and maybe that kind of built the community too, with the fandom of like wanting to belong to such a loyal group.
Yeah. Well, and also, I think part of it, the success of Futurama, was the evolution of show business. I mean, when we started, we were in the old world, where it was like, there are 5 networks, and they're all trying to get as huge a percentage of the American population to watch each episode as possible.
Right.
You know, it's like, everybody wants Super Bowl numbers. Nowadays, nobody's trying to get everybody to watch. It's all about fandom, engagement, this demographic, this little audience. And Futurama came about just at that time. Also, I mean, you've got an animated show that's also a science fiction show, which are two of like the deepest, most engaged fandoms. There was no place for that on network TV.
Right.
Like this Fox was not the nerd network.
Right.
Right.
But once the show got off, it's like, oh, we're going to put out these DVDs. Nerds were buying them.
And then they went, wait a minute, there's a profit to be made here, and the business
And there's a
evolved.
way for us to get to that specific audience.
Right.
And then cable started, creating more individuals. Comedy Central, like, yeah, we'll pay for a show. All of those things didn't exist when Futurama began, but continued to grow and grow and grow. So now it's like, we have Hulu. It's like, yeah. Like, Hulu would be excited to see, wait, how many people were at the panel? Yes!
Yeah, they're popping the champagne corks.
Quick, somebody get in the back of the room and get them all to subscribe on their way out.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so my question is, aside from Futurama, you're all known for your roles in other big shows, and I just wanted to know which show is your favorite role outside of Futurama?
We had a similar question yesterday.
I'm sorry if somebody.
And we faked it then too.
You want to go first?
God, I don't know. I mean, I just feel very, very fortunate to not have one great role on a fantastic show with amazing cast members. The fact that I have more than one of those just makes me so happy. It's like having 3 cool friends, 5 cool friends at school. It's like, nah, I want to pick one of you.
Right.
Or children, pick your favorite child. It's really
It's
hard.
been done.
Sophie's Choice, the sequel, the other one.
Both of yous. Solomon. Biblical joke.
Good for Easter.
Yeah, good. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
is
for me, and forgive me if you heard this yesterday, but it's.
I wasn't here yesterday. I came here.
Okay, good. Each job has a significance to me for something different. So like Joy Luck Club and Friends meant so much to me. At being an Asian American actress to kind of help move that entire community forward a little bit, not by anything other than my dumb luck of just getting cast in that.
The Dumb Luck Club.
I love it. And then other jobs like the Ghost of Tsushima it was a game, and I had to dig so deep that was really challenging, and learning how to do the mocap thing with the dots and the camera. So I loved that, and then the cartoons I just feel so grateful for, because I've never met an a-hole in the entire decades I've been in in the animation, in the voiceover world. I just don't know why that is, but they're just the nicest, most down-to-earth people. And then also I had 2 kids, so I was able to. Literally, I was nursing while I was recording, with my first one. There's nothing that can stop you from recording.
You can't do that on a sitcom.
No, you cannot.
That's right.
So that my entire voiceover career, I'm so grateful for those reasons. Bread and butter, kind of always has kept me working in between the on-camera stuff. So I just feel really lucky.
That's a common thread. I always mention Tom Kenny and Robbie Paulson and Maurice. Whenever we sit down and we're just chumming around, one of the things that always pops up is how goddamn lucky are we? What are the odds against having a hit show? The goddamn Luck Club.
That's what we're going to call the voiceover world from now on.
The goddamn Luck Club.
The Lucky Sperm Club. No, but I mean, it's the gratitude. Honest to God, I know it sounds corny and everything, but I can't stress enough that I'm so grateful that I could find something. I don't know how to do anything. I was on the autism spectrum growing up. My dad thought I was stupid, and he used to beat the shit out of me every day. And I couldn't understand why life was so hard, and I didn't know if how can you know if you have any gifts when you're so busy, like being on red alert and hyper vigilant, and it was really terrible. And I couldn't tie my shoe right, and I used to have to hide the process, and some kid would sit there going, "You tie cuckoo," and I was like, sorry, and I couldn't tie a necktie. I can't buckle a seatbelt. I know this is like Revelation City, but I have trouble, and I go, why is everything so friggin' hard? Yet, ask me to do a Fran Drescher impression. Oh, Mr. Hansen. I'm the now, man. How grotesque. But, I didn't mean to go off like that, but the thing is I had no idea that I had anything that could save my ass in life, except for like music. I could play music and I could sing, but they were all like stuff that had to be discovered on my own. There was no, like when we started, there was no voiceover classes. There was no teachers, not really. No. And there was no signposts.
I learned from all of my colleagues.
No, I mean,
and I learned from my colleagues because people say, "What is it like when you get back together?" And I said, hardly anybody knows the feeling. I mean, there are people that know the feeling, what it's like to walk in a room full of genius level performers, and you gotta be on your game, and it's like there's no like envy or jealousy, like showboating, and it's like let's keep that damn bar off the ground.
It's like playing in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
You don't really care who wins. You're just happy to be there.
And you're having a heck of a time.
Yeah. And to follow up on Billy, I feel like now, because there weren't a lot of classes or anything like that back in our day, but if any of you guys out there were interested in going into voiceover at all, I just wanted to share with you, my friend D. Bradley Baker created a website that literally is an encyclopedia of anything you could possibly want to know about how to get started, like where to study.
I wanna be a voice
and it's called
actor.
I Want to Be a Voice Actor.
It's incredible.
.com. And he spent so much time and energy building this website, so that's just a little thing for you guys.
Cool.
Are you thinking of stuff like that?
Somewhat, yeah. I want to become
Yeah?
a voice actor myself. I really need to find time to look at that website.
If not you, then who? If not now, when?
Is Zoidberg a life coach?
Oh, I wouldn't take any life advice from him.
Although it's funny because I feel like, in the very beginning, voice actor wasn't a job description.
No.
It was the thing Mel Blanc did.
That's it.
You're right.
And
You're
June
right.
Foray.
That's true.
That's about it.
Well, although most of them, other than Mel, nobody knew their name or what they looked like.
Right.
I always joke that voice acting is like being a tech billionaire. Before Bill Gates, people did it, but there was no name for it.
Right.
Now we got tons of tech billionaires.
Yeah.
And tons of voice actors.
Yep.
Right.
And no billionaire voice actors. We have to do something about that. Pay me.
Oh!
Pay me. Zoidberg will quit. I'm silly. I'm so tired. I'm silly. Oh.
That's what we love about you.
Oh, God.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This question is for Billy. In an interview, you said that Kurt Cobain come into like a studio and want to do a song like in Ren Stimpy. Was that true or?
It's true. Yeah, it was true. He came by the animation studio and he wanted to do music for Ren and Stimpy.
No way.
And John Kay said, "Tell him to take a hike."
No.
Yeah, get out of here.
Seriously?
Yes. I know. I know.
Well, that was a bad move.
It would have been really interesting because I've seen pictures of Kurt Cobain holding a Ren doll.
Oh my God.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Get him out of here. He's a. No, I mean he was like that's the way he felt about it, and he was using language like that, and I was like, Jesus.
Doesn't. Yeah. See, sometimes.
I mean, he
talent doesn't
didn't even
recognize.
realize what he was saying. I mean, it was just like a what do you call it? A knee jerk, yeah. But I mean, it was almost like a jock saying that.
But it's also Crick Falusi leaning into his own
Yeah.
self-sabotage that he keeps doing over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy is part of this amazing movement in music. Do I want to be associated with that? Nah, I'm busy.
Wowie.
Oh, well.
Wowie.
Thank you.
So, growing up, my father was a humongous fan of your show. So much so that when I was little and still didn't know a lot, he showed me the funnier, silly episodes and like the really sweet ones. So I grew up, seeing the iconic, most beloved Seymour or, New Justice Team or the Mermaids one. And now growing up, now that I'm older, I've seen the full show like so many times. And I still think that some of the sweeter episodes remain my favorites. Like when Zoidberg gets his girlfriend who loves him for him. That is such an amazing episode. And so
She
I was
couldn't
curious.
smell?
Yeah, and even when she could smell, she still loved him. And I thought that was an amazing episode. And I think that Futurama does get quite some credit for their sweeter episodes along their silly ones. And so I was curious what your guys' like sweeter / sadder episodes would be, like your favorite ones.
Well, what's it called when the dog is waiting for a year and all the seasons?
Seymour,
Don't bring that mountain down on yourself. People get like militant when you start talking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't. Actually, I think my favorite is the Proposition Infinity.
Oh, yeah. That was
I just
great.
love that one. Because it's so funny, but also so true.
Yeah.
And a metaphor.
I liked the holophoner episode, where Fry was being all artistic and sensitive and and he's writing across the sky his love and his feelings, and she missed the whole thing.
Yeah, it really is devastating.
The last episode.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I cried when I first watched that one. It was really devastating. But
And one of my personal favorites was Put Your Head on My Shoulders.
Oh, right. You were sewn onto me. How did that happen? I can't even remember how we got it. We what?
Got in a car crash?
Right.
Yeah.
Who stitched him? Zoidberg?
I think
Didn't he
so.
put them
I
back
don't
together?
Probably.
I did the best I could.
Wait, your father didn't name you Leela, did he?
No, thank
Okay.
God. Yeah, my mom would have killed him. Like, we just got a dog recently, and we wanted so badly to name her Seymour.
Aww.
Her name is not Seymour, because my mom loves her, but, it was really debated. Anyways, thank you so much.
Name her Nibbler.
That's what I said! Anyways, thank you so much, and it was an honor.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank you for raising me.
Thank you for raising me. It's cute.
So, I don't know anything about the show.
That's okay.
I've never seen it, but
We're saving a seat for you.
It's a furniture store in downtown Roseville. Futurama.
I'm only here because my friend watches the show. But I did have a question for as the voice actors. Is just because you've been doing this for so long, has your roles on this show affected your ability to get any other roles in the future after doing those roles?
Yeah, because if you're part of something that's successful, everybody else is looking at it going, how can we get some of that DNA? We'll get
true.
Phil, we'll get Maurice Lamarr, we'll get Lauren, Tom. We do get jobs mostly because the young producers just want to see you. They want to look at you doing voices. Because you got to remember that some of them were sitting in their own when Futurama came on the air. And now they're like, I just hired you. Yeah. But I mean, it's an incredible circle of life, the time-space continuum of show business, I guess.
Yeah, there's definitely a feeling of positive association.
Yes.
You know, like if somebody, you know, it's like, oh, you're going to work with somebody who's worked with amazing people. That maybe they'll bring some of that amazingness over here. Although I will point out that happens in show business all across the thing. But in voiceover, no matter what level you're on, generally speaking, you still have to audition.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and I will audition for
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Because if you want to work, you know, I'm a journeyman. It's like I didn't know from anything different.
Well, but it's also because, you know, it's like, I love Billy West as Fry on Futurama, but I know he can't do that same voice for my character.
But
So-
people have tried. They say, you know, maybe you could finesse it a little. And I said, what do you, you know? And then they're hemming and hawing. And,
Oh, no.
And, well, we kind of thought that you might, you know, it was like niggling, you know.
Trying to turn your dial to
Yeah,
Fry?
and I said, I got all day. You know, the longer they keep me, I said, you can pick the pepper out of Andy all day long. I got all day. I got all day long.
But eventually you find out they were just trying to get you to do Fry?
Well, yeah. And then they were like, you know, could you sign this for my kid? I'm like, yeah, sure. And he brought pictures of Fry. Yeah, but mister, it doesn't work that way. I'm happy to oblige you and your son, of course. But, you know.
Thank you.
Look at you playing with your hair, looking at us like. You have the look of love in your eyes. You like the show. But you said
I've
you
never
don't.
seen the
You
show.
said you don't know anything about it.
What's your favorite impression of Futurama?
Which of the leads?
Outside of the normal ones, he's been a reoccurring character for years. Is President Richard Nixon?
Oh yes.
He's president of Earth. That got me right from the beginning. It was like, how brilliant is that? I'm president of Earth, and I wouldn't die. They saved my head. Aroo. Yeah, and everybody the writers would say, David and the rest of them were like, you know, we wanted to just ask you, why do you say Aroo like when you're doing that? I said, you don't like it? And they said, yeah, we love it, but we just don't know why you do it. And I've told this story a million times, but it was when I watched the debate between John F. Kennedy and Richard M. Nixon. It was the first televised presidential debate ever. And Kennedy's people were so smart, like they made him look like a game show host. He had that ultra bright smile, and he had that buttered toast hair, and they shot him in soft focus, you know. Oh, you're the space program, and Nixon. Kennedy's people told the camera crew do extreme close-ups on Nixon. So you could see like his pores, and you could see whiskers growing as he was talking, and he was sweating, and his hair was matted. And I'm watching him, and he's like his 5 o'clock shadow was coming in at 1 o'clock, and I said, you know, he was like, I want to be president of the United States because And I said, Mom, he's turning into a werewolf. I said, he looks like he's turning into he was like transforming. It was like the movie The Werewolf with Larry Talbot, you know, lock that door. Don't let me out. Don't let me out, because he knew he was going to turn into a werewolf. But I mean, Nixon is now known for that because of something stupid I did. And to this, and that drafted me when I was in 1970. He drafted me. I was going to go in the Army, and I was lucky. I had flat feet and hypertension and all kinds of stuff wrong. But many, many years later, cut to nowadays, in the Nixon library on a continuous loop is all the Nixon stuff I did on Futurama.
No way! That's what we call VO payback.
Aroo.
And you're also responsible for the George Takei "Oh my" when he never actually said that.
Oh, because I used to say it on the Stern Show.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He says it.
I know. What are you gonna do?
I love
Hilarious.
I just love that guy.
Yeah. Great. Really quick, you guys. I just wanted to pitch something to you, especially on this beautiful Easter day. That one of the reasons I love doing these cons is just to be able to connect with people and fans and stuff, but it's also to kind of feel like I'm giving back and to the community. And my favorite charitable organization is called Homeboy Industries, based out of Los Angeles. And what it does is that it takes formerly incarcerated men and women and basically gives them a second chance at life. And so if you believe in second chances like that, you're not the worst thing you've ever done in your life. It's an 18-month program that gives these folks free services like tattoo removal, drug rehabilitation, anger management, parenting classes. They can get their GED, and they leave this program with a job and getting back into the community. And they have a 70% success rate and only 30% recidivism rate. So, the transformations are so deep and miraculous that I can't stop fundraising for this. And so every year I do a 5K, and so it's in the fall. So you will see that I'm gonna write whatever we collect in the little bucket down there today. When you're leaving, if you've got even $1 would be amazing. Then I'm gonna say, from the SacAnime fans. And it's a little bit competitive because our team every year for the last 10 years has been either number 1 or number 2. And so I'm a little competitive that way. So I'm gonna save this money and hold it until the fall and then post it so that you guys can see. If you follow me on social media, you'll be able to see it. But anyway, thank you in advance for considering this great organization, and thank you for coming today. We all love you and appreciate you so much.